Hey guys, I'm making this video because I want to go through some quick tips on getting started in Punishing Gray Raven. If you are watching this, you may know me more for some turn-based gacha games, and assuming you are watching from that demographic, I also wanted to showcase what you can expect of the game in terms of gameplay. As I'm recording this video, there's already a new patch and event that's not really the one you're seeing on screen, but the thing I wanted to bring up is that there's a big collab confirmed and it's coming to PGR Global in about 5 months, Nier Automata. If you've been around the gacha space, you'll be pretty familiar with this IP. I've seen gameplay footage from the Chinese version, and it was why I even started playing PGR 2 months ago. PGR's gameplay mechanics looks and feels very similar to the original Nier Automata game, so this collab feels like the best fitting collab out of all the games that Nier has actually partnered with. Before I get too far, the first question most players ask in regards to mobile games is it free-to-play friendly? The answer is yes, if you set your expectations accordingly. It's well documented that all free-to-play players can hit pity for every S-rank construct, or rarest character, when an S-rank debut banner is dropped. Through dailies and weeklies, as well as completing new story and content that is released per patch, players will be able to receive the right amount of black cards to generate a pity. Of course, if you get lucky, you can save spare currency for the next S-rank debut banner, go for dupes, or even the 6-star weapons. If this is enough to get you started, then I'll go through a couple early game tips before explaining the combat or core gameplay. As a new player, you will be given an S-rank selector. While the pool is limited, there are really only 2 characters you'd want from it. But don't use it yet. What you want to do first is to spam your serum or energy and get through as much of the main story mode as possible. This allows you to rank up the account level, which in turn unlocks other areas of the game. But more importantly, it unlocks 2 core modes in the game, Warzone and Phantom Pain Cage. While I won't be explaining what those modes are in this video, these modes are 2 of your biggest sources of black cards, the premium currency, because they are tied to your weekly objectives. Not only that, Warzone earns you currency to buy endgame gear called memories, and Pain Cage gives you currency that can be exchanged for shards, even for the S-rank constructs that you own, mitigating the need to actually pull for many dupes. From Warzone and Phantom Pain Cage alone, you will be generating 1,000 black cards per week. This is not counting dailies or any other sources. At a certain point, you will also unlock bounty missions, which can be refreshed for special missions that give you blue cards. From daily check-in rewards, bounty missions, and other sources of blue cards from your natural game progression, you will be able to hit your first blue card pity, which is discounted to 40 summons for your first time. After this initial pity, it will go back to the default, which is 60 summons. After you get the character from your 40 pity, you can then use your S-rank selector. Choose either Kamui Tenebrion as your first priority, or Liv Luminance aka S-Liv as your second priority. In other words, if you get Kamui from the banner, you choose S-Liv as your selector. Now let's get into the gameplay. This portion will be a huge undertaking for me, as Punishing Gray Raven is a fast-paced action game, so talking over the mechanics while watching live gameplay footage is almost impossible to explain to a beginner. I will use my editing magic and freeze frame, slow-mo, or even rewind where relevant. If you have watched this far, you may be asking, Jagan, why do you like this game? And I will honestly say the gameplay mechanics and the learning curve is the real addiction to me. What we are watching is a typical run I'm doing in one of the modes I've already mentioned, Warzone. While all game modes have their own unique spin on the strategy or special gimmick, I feel that Warzone really explains the fullness of the combat mechanics the best. Before you load into the fight, you have a pre-battle lobby. Generally, you can load out with 3 characters set in 3 positions, blue, red, and yellow. You can then select which color is the leader, which loads the fight with the leader's unique passive buff, and also determines who loads into the fight first. This becomes the first step at establishing the battle strategy. Upon load-in, your leader will be assigned a random combination of colored signal orbs, which are also red, yellow, and blue. Each construct has their own unique abilities tied to the orbs, so knowing your characters well will determine how you ping or use the orbs. If there are 3 signal orbs aligned with the same color, tapping one of them in the grouping will cause a 3-orb ping, which generates that ability to its strongest potential. In this case, 3 red orbs are pinged to do some damage, but notice at the same time how one of the off-screen character's portraits is pulsing red. She was assigned to the red position before the battle. If you press on her portrait within the flashing window, then you have successfully executed a QTE, or Quick Time event. Just like your signal orbs, each construct's QTE offers different benefits, which ranges from healing, attack buffs, elemental resistance or defense reduction, and or straight up damage. During the QTE animation, you cannot swap the character in and begin using them. Swapping in characters is a core fundamental in gaining combat momentum. When you are out of signal orbs, the only ways your characters can gain any more is by using the basic attack, which is significantly less effective in most scenarios, or wait passively over time. Swapping in characters will generate a set of additional orbs, and each character has a swap in attack, which usually acts as a 3-orb ping from one of the colors. Each character also has a core passive in this game, and is usually triggered with a specific combination of orbs. As an example, the archer lady I'm using on screen is Bianca Veritas, and to trigger her core passive, she needs a 3 red orb ping into 1, 2, or 3 blue orbs. Her core passive goes into her sniping mode, where she unleashes up to 6 super hard hitting arrows. Every character also has an ultimate, called their signature move, and this ultimate is gained by accumulating energy by basic attacks or pinging orbs. To prevent your brains from frying, I will summarize it in this way. In the fight you are watching, I'm trying to do as much damage as possible with Bianca Veritas, because she's my main DPS. I am pinging orbs to consume and rearrange the proper orb combos to trigger core passives for greater damage burst windows, swapping her out if I run out of orbs, calling on QTEs for buffs, heals, and elemental resistance reductions and damage. While doing this, I am also keeping an eye on enemy telegraphs to dodge attacks so I can enter a mode called Matrix, which allows any orb's ping to be equivalent to a 3-orb ping within that time window. Matrix dodge, QTEs, and swap-ins are also on cooldowns, which I'm always watching in my peripheral. Watching what's on screen may just look like beautiful button mashing. Hearing what I just talked about may turn your brain into mush, but actually playing it and understanding all these layers of mechanics and eventually mastering them is why I play Punishing Gray Raven. There is so much more I can talk about, but maybe I'll save that for another video. If this video has convinced you to give PGR a try, let me know in the comments down below. I have a small community on my Discord server for Punishing Gray Raven, so if you want to join, you can find a link in the description below. I will end this video here, and if you want to see more videos from me, consider subscribing. Until next time, thanks for watching.